Yeah, Mr. Speaker, I'm happy to yield 3 minutes to a valued member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, the gentlelady from Virginia, Ms. Spanberger.
Gentlelady is recognized for 3 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today in support of repealing the 1991 authorization of use of military force. Today, we have another opportunity to demonstrate that Congress is serious about reclaiming congressional war powers and serious about representing the service members and veterans who have served our country. Too often, they have served under authorities that were signed into law decades previously. While the Constitution is clear, only Congress can declare war, we have steadily surrendered this responsibility to the executive branch. Building off the House's vote earlier this month to repeal the 2002 AUMF, we are considering today 2 additional bipartisan bills that repeal other outdated and inactive AUMFs. First, we're considering my legislation to repeal the 1991 AUMF against Iraq. This AUMF was Congress's authorization for the first Gulf War of 1991 in response to Saddam Hussein's invasion of Kuwait 30 years ago. The short military conflict that took place under this authority has been over for 3 decades, and we must remove this old, inactive authority from the books. Repealing this AUMF would help ensure that it is not misused or stretched by any American president going forward. I want to thank the broad range of members and advocates who have supported this legislation and helped bring us to where we are today. Representatives Gallagher, Golden, and Meyer have been critical partners in this effort to repeal inactive, outdated AUMFs. We come from different political persuasions in different areas of the country, but we share backgrounds in national security, a commitment to serving our constituents, and a focus on our constitutional responsibilities. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chair Meeks and Ranking Member McCall are also original co-sponsors of our bill to repeal the 1991 AUMF, and they have been instrumental in moving this legislation forward quickly, including a unanimous vote out of the House Foreign Affairs Committee earlier this year. I applaud Chairman Meeks for his leadership of the committee and for sending a clear message that Congress must assert its war powers. Even as a Democratic chairman, with a Democrat in the White House, Chairman Meeks is making clear that this is not about a particular president. It is about fulfilling our obligation as members of Congress. Intelligence Committee Chair Schiff, Armed Services Committee Chair Smith, Chair Lee, Rules Chair McGovern, and Rules Ranking Member Cole are also original co-sponsors of this bill, and I truly appreciate the many other co-sponsors who have been on board with this legislation, many of whom have served our nation in national security roles prior to coming to Congress. I also want to thank Congresswoman Barbara Lee for her leadership on AUMF issues and congratulate her on the House voting with strong bipartisan support to repeal the 2002 AUMF earlier this month. Notably, my bill to repeal the 1991 AUMF is also supported by a broad range of foreign policy. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Foreign policy and veterans-focused organizations, the American Legion, the United States' largest veteran service organization, has emphasized the importance of Congress reasserting its constitutional authority over war powers. In addition, the many other organizations who've been supportive of this effort, I thank them for their endorsement of our legislation. For years, Americans have been calling on their representatives in Congress to exercise their responsibility, our responsibility, to make decisions on war and peace. We cannot simply allow AUMFs to accumulate without congressional action. We have more work ahead of us as we reassert congressional war powers and we reform, repeal, and in some cases update AUMFs, but today we can take an important step by passing my widely supported legislation to repeal a 30-year authorization for the use of military force. So I urge my colleagues to join me in voting yes to the repeal of the 1991 Gulf War authorization of use of military force. Thank you, and I yield back.